around the world. But it turns out there are other things just as vital to our day-to-day lives that are also facing an uncertain future. Take a look at this.
From down here, it's hard to imagine Earth as anything but inconceivably huge. If you want to weigh it, the result in metric tonnes would be a 6 with 21 zeros behind it. So yes, it's bloody massive, but it isn't infinite. And neither is any of the vital, precious or useful stuff we take from it. And some of that stuff is going to become scarce sooner than you might think. Now, we all know that water is especially vital. Roughly 1,260 million trillion litres of it covers the planet. Of that, only 1% is drinkable.
Our population is increasing by 80 million people a year, which means we need an additional 64 trillion litres each year just to keep pace.
The UN has warned that by 2025, exploding populations will put so much strain on water supplies that 1.8 billion people will be living in absolute water scarcity. And we could see conflicts break out for control of the precious substance. In the meantime, we continue to use 10 billion litres a day watering the golf courses of the world. And then there's all the useful stuff we take from the ground. First, some good news. Iron ore, there's about 600 years worth of known reserves. Aluminium, over 1,000 years worth. And lithium, the stuff that we use to make batteries, is super abundant. But things aren't looking as bright for some other critical resources, like copper. It's used for plumbing and electrical and data cabling for nearly all types of infrastructure. Based on current global trends, it's estimated we could run out of easily available copper in around 25 years.
We're not going to run out of copper per se, but it's hard to access, and those cheap, easily accessible resources are drying up in Australia and globally.
And then there's phosphorus. As one of the key ingredients in modern fertilisers, it's the reason why we've been able to increase crop yields around the world by 6 times in the last century and feed our exploding population.
What our research is showing is that we might see a crunch time of peak phosphorus occur in the next 20 to 50 years, and we could see crop yields dramatically reduced worldwide, which will have huge implications for global food production and hence food security.
And if you're in the habit of replacing your iPod, tablet, smartphone or TV every few years, that might have to stop. Indium, the precious metal that's essential in the creation of all of those screens, is estimated to have between 5 and 20 years before it runs critically low. Now, it should be said that recycling can play a huge role in making some of this precious stuff last for longer. But is it time we started taking stock of the idea that our planet's maybe not as big as we thought? And soon it could be hitting the limits of what it can provide for us.
I've got a fun fact